Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. We've got two very good defenses on the field today. Both rank in the top 10 in fewest yards allowed, and each wants to prove that it is no fluke. The Seahawks are top 10 in defensive yards allowed, and they're going up against the Falcons' offense that will have a lot to deal with. With that, let's hand it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. They've got the call in this Week 6 matchup.
All right, Larry, thank you. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Atlanta Falcons and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. It's been a lost first month of the season, that's for sure, as they come in with an 0-4 record.
And the window's not shut on them, though. They still have a chance to make something out of this season, but it has to start right now.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Falcons, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5.
And last week they put together a 3-touchdown victory, and were never challenged in that game. Let's see if they have a little bit of a letdown here.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by one of the more mobile quarterbacks in the league, and that's Tyrod Taylor.
7-6 as a first-time starter in 2015. He did a really nice job taking care of the football. 20 touchdown passes, just 6 interceptions.
First carry for LeGarrette Blount. They find some open field here. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. Ricardo Allen, the safety, makes the stop. The wide receivers, often a very, very talented group, and that's the case here.
And they don't mind showcasing it either. Those guys love to be flashy, love to make big plays out in the open field. They will attempt to do so in this game.
Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver.
Now Taylor to throw on second down. And the catch made here by Marquise Lee. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And they talked about how important the passing game was going to be against that defensive look. Good job there going to the air for the first down.
It's all about preparation. It's all about planning. And then it's about execution. So put it all together in practice. Okay, this is what we think we're going to see. This is how they get to it. And then when the game comes, read it and attack it. Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage. That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on third down.
Here we go.
From the gun, it's Taylor. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
So the next time we leave one of those coaches' meetings and we're walking out in the hall and you're like, how come we spend so much time talking about special teams?
There you go. This is why.
This is why, right? And then look, I'm right there with you. We hear it every time we meet with coaches, but it is a big part of it. And look at how early in the game this occurs. They block a kick, and not only does it set a tone, it sends a message for the rest of the game.
Yeah, so much for our first points of the game. See if they stay on the ground for second down. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Jennings. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
The veteran Jeremy Macklin was the intended target, and that brings up 4th down. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And they were in field goal range the last time out, but couldn't connect.
And it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
And now for the first time, we get a look at this defense that was very stout last week.
And all they expect to do is continue what they did a week ago. Play terrific defense and not permit that offense to get started.
Blunt, the lone running back. And he'll get it up the middle. And he was very fortunate there to get out of his end zone. He maybe got back to the 2-yard line.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Snickers. You're off your game when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2, but likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. And taken at the 46. Whoosh. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Now, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
Working his way for a gain of 7 to the 26. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. So it'll be first down here after the run.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the first down.
Play clock winding down. Jennings bulldozes past him. And he's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
So the false start will back them up 5.
Offense.
I'm ready now for 2nd and 9. Here's Jennings. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
We saw in 2015 Mark Barron really emerge in the NFL.
Yeah, as a defensive back, 16 tackles for a loss, but now, how about where he's at now?
Yeah, truthfully, he's no longer a defensive back. He's really an outside linebacker, but he doesn't want to hear that. So as Coach tells him, you're a defensive back.
Makes
Just play
him feel
over
better.
here. That's all.
Holding. Offense.
The Falcons will call on Matt Bryant for the field goal try. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt. And Bryant's kick is good. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. So after slogging through a scoreless first quarter, we have action on the scoreboard. A field goal makes it 3-0.
Well, with these two offenses, we weren't going to stay 0-0 forever, were we? I'm not sure that this opens the floodgates, but I doubt that's the last scoring we're going to see.
The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. They'll run it here with Blunt. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. When we sat with the coaching staff a couple of days ago, they said attacking that defensive look with a run, something they wanted to do, it was effective.
And they were extremely confident, weren't they? Their planning, their preparation, they knew what they were going to get in that defense, and they were able to attack it accordingly.
Grady Jarrett with the tackle, and they still need 8 yards for the first here on second down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Larry Ridley. Larry will have highlights and analysis of this first half. I'm guessing mostly defensive highlights that we will see.
Yeah, and that's kind of cool. No touchdown scored yet so far.
Yeah, none whatsoever. Taylor, Lee's got it over the middle. The reception good for 7. It's third down. Short of the sticks after that completion, and now it's third down for this offense. And they're going to speed things up here. On 3rd and 1, it's Taylor. He's got the hook up to Lee. And eventually taken down, but how about that athletic spin move we saw? Gives him the first down yardage. On 1st down, it's Taylor. Room here to run. And he is out of bounds, just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 18 yards on the pickup there. And it's good enough for a Seattle first.
Come on, let's go!
They'll throw on 1st down with Taylor. He's got time. And he dumps it off to Blunt. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4. And it'll make it 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field. One of the best routes, one of the favorite routes of any play caller. He just ran now a nice little angle route. That's supposed to be a catch, and usually it is, and the running back dropped it.
Yeah, I mean, he's a running back, but he's got hands. He should have caught it. On 3rd down, Taylor surveying the field. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
He dropped that one, and it almost felt like he was disappointed he wasn't the primary receiver. Because we saw the guy scan the field, came to him on a check down, and running back's supposed to catch that one.
He's supposed to catch that one indeed.
Were his feelings hurt or something? I don't know what happened there.
And Scobie's kick is good. And that will knot things up here late in the first half. So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier, and this time there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Tannehill. Quickly to Gronkowski. That's caught. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout. And now we're set to get going. They go play action here on 1st down. He's got time in the pocket. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
You can feel the anguish all the way up here. It certainly looked like he had that one in the end zone, open, unable to hold on to it.
Back to the air. Tannehill on 2nd down. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. They tried to swing it out left into the flat, but the defense, they were very principled there.
It felt very West Coast offense, didn't it? You know their expression, right? On a West Coast offense, when they throw the ball, it's either going to be a touchdown or a check down, meaning they like to press it downfield. If they don't have it, swing it out, which is exactly what we saw there. But how about the great pursuit and tackle to make a nice play?
So we've reached halftime in a low-scoring affair, just a pair of field goals. 3-3 is our score, as we will send you eastward to Orlando and Larry Ridley. He's standing by with our EA Sports halftime report. Take it away, Larry.
Thanks, guys. We'll get back to you soon for the second half of this tied ball game. But first, let's look back now at this first half of play. Both the Seahawks and the Falcons are mucking it up a bit on defense. Neither offense can get going, and so it may end up as a defensive battle for 4 quarters. So let's take a look at the highlights from the first half. Here early in the first, Taylor is on point with the pass across the middle.
Okay, thank you, Larry. A low-scoring affair, all even, as we ready for this second half. This will be taken about the 12. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. They'll begin the drive with Rashad Jennings. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Partner, I think the easy thing now would be to just abandon the run and start throwing the football at all costs. But I've been in so many games where it doesn't work running the ball, and then something pops, and now you get something going. I'm not so sure to just abandon your game plan this early in the second half.
We've got a 3rd and 11. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball. I'm
trying to get it to Hartman, and it's intercepted. Third corner and interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Now here's the Falcons defense getting set to go again. And as we're going to see right here, they have been laying some pretty electrifying hits in this one.
And these are for real. Okay, as you watch, think about putting yourself in that spot about being the ball carrier or the receiver.
I don't want to.
And then taking that shot, it is something else. It's not like when we were watching that video clip where they showed you how they make sounds for movies. This is for real.
Let's go. 1-9.
After the interception, here's Taylor. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side, but for lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
They juked him, and they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals. It's 6-3. So they don't get a touchdown here on this opening drive of the 3rd quarter, but I think you still say mission accomplished as they come away from it with the lead.
Absolutely. You got to apply the pressure here, make the other guys play catch-up for a while, and now you just hope your defense can step up and protect the lead.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Now Tannehill toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
But there's almost no doubt about the play call there on 3rd down and long. You figure they're going to throw the football. I've got to give a little credit to the offense for taking a little bit of a chance there, running the draw, hoping to catch them off guard, but the defense was ready.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Off the play fake, here's Taylor. Finding time. Trying to lay one up deep. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Here's Blunt. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. A good pick up there of 20 yards. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve.
Now, that was a big run. It takes them all the way down to the 1-yard line, and that'll shake the confidence of any defense. So when they're looking for a little bit of support now, looking at their defensive coordinator, if I'm him, I dial up some pressure. I just go after him because otherwise you're still playing back on your heels, and that's not going to help your defense at all.
The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
He lost 2 there, and it's third down. Line of scrimmage at the 4. Here's third and goal. Out of the gun, it's Taylor. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Mohamed Sanu, his second touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks add on to their lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it works very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Play action, it's Tannehill. He's got time. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by Brent Grimes. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Now a carry for Blunt. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line. And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise.
Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Grady Jarrett able to get him down for a loss of 11 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, that allows your blitzers to get there.
And here now come the Falcons. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Single, single. Single, single. I got 11. Wide, 20. Wide, 20.
Here's Tannehill now on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
Here's Tannehill. Hard throw, incomplete. Percy Harvin, the intended receiver there. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available.
And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Robert Ayers in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. Tyrod Taylor now gears up to lead his offense again. He's had quite the turnaround, Charles. At the start of the game, passing game was a little bit of a mess, but he's back on the horse, so to speak. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. Again, here's Blunt. So we got 3 of 1. And the Falcons going to use another timeout. That'll be their second, so 1 more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. Second down following the run.
Tight, watch left. Tight, watch left. Gotta go. Brand 38.
Oh, Taylor going to throw. Incomplete. Martellus Bennett, the intended receiver, and it's third down. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. And defensively, it's a nickel formation here on third down and 9. They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. And Scobie's kick is good. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So they settle for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the fourth.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give them some breathing room and lets them build up a little cushion.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying,
There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Falcons. Tyreek Hill, his second touchdown on the season. And the Falcons have cut it to within a score.
And they put it in the end zone, which was job 1. Now they have to convert. And then it's decision time, isn't it?
Yeah, this is what all teams go through. You look at the clock, you're inside 2 minutes, look at your timeouts, make that onside kick decision.
Yeah, how do you feel about your defense, where you are in terms of the scoreboard, and the time left on the clock, as you noted, so many things to go through.
They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though, now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. They go down to a knee and a sigh of relief as they are into the win column for the first time this year. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Seahawks, it took a while, but they finally get that first win after 4 straight losses. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, the loss will drop them to 4-2 on the year. And they'll get a home date next week against the San Diego Chargers. So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.
Seahawks finally catch a dub. About time. Hopefully they can keep this streak alive. But we're going to see what that's about next week. Appreciate you for watching. Hazel So Fresh, out.